It's recording there. And here's zoom in and out.
Why do you have a
Okay.
wig
So
on
the red
top
button's
of
on
the
off?
stick?
Yeah, and there's your zoom in.
You must have
No, why do you have your plastic wig on a stick? I know what that is.
Okay, gentlemen, I'm going to ask you to do me a favor.
Yes.
I'm recording this information on this gear that's in here for the rest of the churches in the district. Okay, I'm the coordinator. You guys are lucky because I'm here with you and I'm going to give you more instruction than probably the other guys are. So we're going to go over this stuff. You guys just watch, and then if you have some questions, ask some questions, but the rest of the district will see this video. So I want you guys on the best behavior. I would appreciate it if you keep the talking and all that stuff down to a very minimum, and we'll try and get through this really quick. Okay, first off, your clothing. You guys, we've been talking a little bit about it, and when it's on a piece of paper and you don't have the hands-on, sometimes you can miss out on what we're talking about, okay? So, all I did is brought the clothes that I'm going to be wearing for that event, and I'm going to quickly talk about them, and this bag will not be going with me. All these clothes will be on me Saturday morning when we get ready to head out to the woods, okay? We won't wear these Friday night. You can if you want to, but you won't have to. You only need to be prepared with this gear Saturday morning when we head out, okay? First off, base layers. Now, I'm going to embarrass some of you guys, but I think you can handle it. Cotton underwear is more comfortable than polyester underwear, okay? You can get a rash from polyester. I recommend you put a cotton underwear on and then put like a poly underwear over that. The reason I wear that is if I got wet, these will still serve, but cotton is always more comfortable right next to your body. So, underwear, t-shirt. This is a poly t-shirt. You can go to Surplus City and get about 3 t-shirts for about 10 bucks. And they are very reasonable. 3 of them for 10 bucks. Polyester, when it gets wet, it doesn't hold moisture, okay? Cotton holds the moisture. This is a pair of poly wool socks, Bass Pro socks. They're lifetime guaranteed. I always backpack in these. I work in these on a daily basis. I have about 10 or 12 pairs of these. They're great socks. You can get by with about any kind of sock you want to wear, but these don't have cotton in them. They're poly and wool, okay? All this, the only thing in all this gear that is cotton is that guy right there. Okay, that's the only thing. That's my underwear. So it's the only thing that's cotton. If you show up in blue jeans and a cotton t-shirt, that's fine. You're gonna do all right. I'm just trying to tell you the right way to do it. This is a layer that will go over, okay, that's my base layer right there. That would be like me in my sleeping clothes, okay, right there. On top of that, I'm going to throw over a pair of long johns. This could be a pajama top, pajama bottom, or a pair of like sweats, kind of a clothing, okay? If you got cotton, that's better than nothing, okay? But these are poly, these are designed, if you got wet, they're still going to give you heat, okay? Same with the top. This is just a long sleeve t-shirt. If the weather warms up, I may not need any of this other stuff. I might be able to just get by with a pair of pants and a jacket, crash out, okay? But just in case, I'm gonna be putting this stuff on. When I get out there to the site where we stop, which is a half mile, we'll be there in about 7-8 minutes, 10 minutes. We're gonna offload this stuff. You guys can undress and get off it so you'll be comfortable, depending on what the weather is. In the morning, first thing, it might be a little chilly. Through the day, you might take off a layer. You might take off a jacket. Okay, over that, you would come up with, I may decide to put on these. These are nylon hiking pants. Just are typical cargo pants with zip off legs. I hardly ever zip off the legs, but that is a pair of hiking pants. It's kind of like a wind resistant pant. I do have these. This is a polyester cotton blend. I generally wear these because it's kind of like a survival pant. These are just BDUs. You can wear these if you want. I haven't decided whether to wear them or not. I have on the last several of them, and they were fine. They have more polyester than they do cotton, so they're fine. Even if they do get wet, they're not so bad. Then over that, I have my Ranger shirt. This is a great outdoor shirt. It doesn't hold water, and it's an excellent shirt for that. Okay.
Yes, sir. Just real fast, guys. We have started the process of mopping and stuff out there, so it is wet. Please do not go run through because I don't want someone slipping and falling, cracking open their heads thing. So Just be careful when you leave this room.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, from there, you're gonna start putting on your outer layers. I did throw in an extra pair of socks. Sometimes some of you guys, you get really stinky and you get kind of, you might throw in an extra pair of socks. I generally don't, but for some reason I threw one in. An extra pair of socks are kind of nice if you get your foot down in the water and it's wet. Probably that one won't go with me, but it's the same as the other sock. You guys will be issued a bandana of a color. This is an old Buckaroo bandana. You guys will need to get a square bandana that you will be doing water filtration with, and you'll be issued something that's similar to this, but it's square. And we'll put it on armbands and things like that. This is actually a piece of cotton here, but it's really, all this is a water filtration device that we'll use. On top of that, this is a stocking cap. The heat from the top of your head goes out to the top of your head. That and around your neck, your heat loss is right here. This is just a slip over deal with a face mask, and you slip it on and that gives you extra warm. I could go out in probably 18 degrees in this and go out and lay on the ground with what I have here, and I probably would be fine. Okay, over that, I have a fleece jacket. All that is a zip up fleece hoodie. Okay, it's not cotton. This jacket here is cotton. Okay, this one is fleece. Look at the tag and see what it says in it. Fleece is better. This one has a little bit of liner in it, a little more comfort. It's real good for against your skin. That would be over my shirt. Then over that, I have a insulated jacket, and it's a Wintec jacket. These are all ultralight. The more layers you have, the better off you are. Light layers. You come into one big old heavy coat, that's not as good as 3 light layers, okay? And this is a wind, like a waterproof coat, and inside there is a pair of gloves. Inside there is a pair of gloves. So you will be asked to bring a pair of leather gloves on your checkoff list. We're getting into that, but also some gloves for warmth, okay? And then the outer jacket, I probably will not wear all this. But if it's at 3 in the morning and I'm cold, I'm gonna slip it on, okay? And then you have your emergency blanket and you have your other stuff that we're gonna get into. Any question on the boots? You don't have to have a pair of hiking boots. You don't have to have a pair of tennis shoes will work fine, but we're gonna be walking around in there. It's not gonna be like we're gonna be carrying any weight. Tennis shoes will work fine, okay? If you got a pair of hiking boots, that's great, but don't go out and buy them. Any questions on the gear? Okay, that's pretty straightforward. And of course, you need to have a belt, because this belt will attach this and your knife around your belt loops. Some of the guys showed up in their sweats. They had no way of carrying their stuff, so they're carrying a bag around, so they're gimped with keeping one arm carrying this bag. Okay, this is about the size of the bags. We have enough for our group, and the rest of the groups are all being told to get their own group. You do not have to have a mirror copy of this. You do not have to have anything that looks like this. All you need is something about this big with a strap or a belt hook that you can put on, like a haversack, like an FCF haversack bag. That will work fine. The main thing is that it's about this size, okay? And the reason I say that is this size. This carries everything that you need. If you come in with a big old huge backpack, I'm gonna say, what else you got in your pack, okay? So this kind of keeps this limited. Okay, also along the gear, the gear that you bring, the reason we limit this is because we're trying to teach certain skills and we're trying to make the most out of these. So if everybody has the same thing, we're all learning it together and we're gonna do fine, okay? There are a million better things that you could bring on a survival camp out. That's not what this is about. This is not about you bringing your super 45-foot saber that will chainsaw operate everything. This is not about that. This is taking the contents of this, going out and surviving overnight, earning some merits, and having some fun with it, and saying, hey, I didn't know that we could do that. And we're going to teach you guys a whole bunch of stuff. Now, the most important thing there is a roll of toilet paper and a bar of soap or some biodegradable soap. More people get sick from not being clean than they do from not eating right or anything like that. You can get sick. Toilet paper is a great fire starter. It's also a bandage. It's also a way to clean your food, and it's also good for the purpose that it's intended for. Okay, close your nose, wipe your glasses off. If you got a cut, you can wipe it clean. That is an excellent tool. Now, also leave it in the bag, in a Ziploc bag. You can get it in and pull it out just like a dispenser. It keeps it dry. Okay, so that is the toilet bag. Also my dishwashing bag, my cleanup bag, and my fire starting bag. If you have a piece of toilet paper, you can always get a fire going, no matter where. Okay, always get a fire going with a piece of toilet paper. So we're going to show you a bunch of other things. Okay, the next thing you will be given, I have 9 survival knives that I'll have. Jerry's got another 9 that he has. But everybody will be given a survival knife to use. You can buy your own. This is a SOG, this is a $70 knife. You don't need to buy a $70 knife. You can buy a Harbor Freight knife for about $7.99 to $9.99, depending if you catch it on sale. Harbor Freight, there's a store in North Kansas, one on South Campbell. You can walk in there and you buy all you want. But I have them to loan to you if you guys need one, so you don't have to go out and buy one. Rangers normally do not want you to use a long sheath knife. Okay, they do not want you to use one unless it's in the FCF. We will have specific instructions on how to use the knife the night of. We're going to talk to you about how to use them, how to use them safely. So that, and along with that, how many of you guys are familiar with that device? Okay, if you're in the FCF, I've taught you how this device works. You will love this device. This is a fun device, and we'll make one of them on Friday night, and you'll have one tied into here, and this is right here. But what's in here and here, you'll be able to get a fire going. Okay. Metal match. Will need a metal match. There's about $2.99 at Harbor Freight. If you're there looking at a knife, that's about $2.99. You buy them from Walmart, they're about $6. Okay. This is a metal match. You're going to be using this extensively, so get one of them. Don't worry about the quality. They make some that you can buy for 14, 15 bucks. Yeah, they produce hot fire, but if these will work, the Harbor Freight ones will work. So we'll do that. Okay. The emergency blankets, get 2 of these, and all they are, they're about $2, $1.99, $2. Walmart has them, and I think Harbor Freight even has them. These are the little reflective kinds. They fold out into a Mylar blanket about yay big by yay big. You can wrap yourself around it. One is just a little more of a vent than you want. 2 of them, you can wrap yourself up like a baked potato and you'll be fine. So I'm giving you guys the ability of having 2 extra. Okay, on that list, what we're talking about, 4 pieces of aluminum foil. You'll be using this for various things, and some of you will probably not benefit from it. Other of you guys will say, hey, that's a good thing. But this is a handy tool, and we'll show you several things that you can do. That's 4 pieces of aluminum foil. Your mom probably has a piece. The heavier duty it is, the better it is, but don't go out and buy anything other than what your folks have in the house. Okay. Again, there's the bag. This one doesn't even draw up. It does have a place there where you can tie off your belt, and it will ride like this. And we will be gathering, once we get our camps, we will go around and we'll have some stuff in there. Now, I didn't talk about, and I don't have with me, the dried fruit and the beef jerky. Go to Walmart and buy your bag of beef jerky and a deal of dried fruit. So whenever you're in between foraging and you haven't earned the next level of food, you can reach in your own bag, pull out a piece of jerky, and have your belly not gnawing at you, and you'll be perfectly fine with an extra little bit of dried fruit. You're not going to eat a whole lot of it, but it will be there for you in case you are hungry, because we will feed you good. As you do process through the day, you will earn food rations that you will, some of you eat just as you get it, other of it you'll take it back and you'll cook, and you'll do that kind of thing. Okay, let's talk about these 2 Ziploc bags. You need 2 Ziploc bags. And the reason I say that is we've done this for 4 years now. I know you can get about all of it in 2 Ziploc bags and fit it in there. Okay, it talks about on that list some cotton string. Now, since I've been doing this, you can get by with a piece of jute twine and cotton. Either one is fine. Jute's probably the better alternative, but either one's fine for that. Okay, so don't get hung up on, just bring some string. Okay, this is a little bit better emergency blanket for about $4 more, $5 more. You can get one that you can pack up and reuse. These are kind of, once you pull them out of the deal, they're kind of like toast. They're real light duty. They work in a one-time survival situation. These are the kind you carry in your vehicle, and you would be glad to give this to somebody that's having a life-threatening deal. The ones that get more expensive that you can reuse, you don't want to throw them away quite so easy, okay? But these are reusable. You can just keep using them and fold them back in. They're a little bit more money. They might be $8 to $10. So, you know, you don't need them. That will suffice, okay? This is an emergency only thing, a 911. And when I say 911, if there's a medical emergency or anything that requires us to have lights for safety, that's what this is for. This is not to be used sitting around a campfire, whittling on the stick. This is not to be used for doing anything. When you're in a survival situation, you generally don't have a light. And this is only for a 911 emergency, okay? So you will have a light. If you cut yourself, we're trying to apply first aid, everybody put their headlamps on, we'll dress it, and then go on, and then we'll take, you know, that off. I've never had anybody seriously cut themselves, so don't worry about it. This is just a precaution, and it's using your head, okay? Fire starters. We will make some fire starters, but if you want to put some together, cotton balls, some match, wrapping some match heads. This right here is a fire starter. We'll show you that. So that all kind of goes together. This is some new line that they kind of come out since I was doing it. This is actually you could use this for cotton string. This is great. It's mini paracord. You get this at the Army surplus stores, and it would be the same as that. Okay, I brought a little bit more. I'm just giving you some alternatives. Bring one of them. Little first aid kit. You do not need that extensive a first aid kit. A simple Ziploc bag like that with about 3 Band-Aids in it, maybe a little antibiotic cream, a little roll of tape. You know, you could, this whole group, someone could go to Walmart, buy a $8, $9 first aid kit and give a few things to you, a few things to you, a few things to you, a few things to you. Everybody have a few things, and we have a well-equipped first aid kit, okay? So don't go out and spend $60 on all these items for a first aid kit unless you guys are wanting one for your house and that kind of thing, and you feel free to do that. But you will not need that per se. Snake bite kit, don't buy one. It's on the list. I've never used it, but you know, hey, maybe one of these days Jackson's going to get snake bit. I don't know. God forbid that ever happened. He's been this far from Copperheads before and lived to tell about it, so I'm thinking he's pretty hardy. But anyway, little snake bite kit. An important tool. These can be found Walmart, Harbor Freight. They're $4 or $5 item. All it is a pair of pliers with a pair of leather gloves that's in here. You're gonna be cooking off of a tin can. This will keep you where you can reach in and get stuff. You can do different things, and it's a multi-tool. These are a very handy item. And if you have just one in your camp, that's probably plenty. Not everyone here will need one at the same time, but that's a handy tool to take, and that's part of your kit. And compass. I will have some to loan. If you don't have one, if you have one, bring it. If you don't have one, don't so much sweat it. We will probably have enough for each group to have a compass. We will be taking some headings, and we'll be using those headings to find some food. And we will be, and some of that food you'll want. So if I give you a heading until you go down 600 feet on a certain heading, you want a compass to kind of go with the direction you need it. So you're going to be earning an orienteering course. On an orienteering merit, you need to do 3 courses. This will count as a course, so you'll knock a little bit out as it goes. This is a Ranger bead to count steps. I've got some. We can loan them out. If you're curious about how that works, we can get in a little bit, but we're not going to really teach all that much. Eyeglass kit. If you wear glasses, you get them all smudged up. An little eyeglass rag is, you know, you have that. Of course, a little candle. I have candles, if you guys can't find one, but most of you guys can find a candle around the house, okay? Most of you can. This is part of this is for you to go through there, gather this up. I gathered all this stuff up myself today in about an hour's time, going through all my different boxes. I mean, I got tons of boxes and stuff, and it's took me longer to get on my
size bag.
Huh?
Size bag.
These are just like a gallon
Gallon.
Ziploc bag. You can go bigger or a little smaller. It's not all that, you know, that thing. Okay, talk a little bit about what's in this bag. Floral wire. I'm going to show you some urban fire starting. We're going to use this for traps. You can use this for lashing. You can use that little wire for all kinds of little things. So it's like $1.99 at the Walmart flower section. Floral wire, very handy. It's steel wire. It's great for traps or whatever you're doing. These are just a standard old trash bag. These are a compactor bag. They're a little heavier duty than a regular bag. You know what? If you're cold and wet And you climb down inside that. These things have been known to save somebody's life, just working as a wind block. You can climb inside your pit, but you're gonna be using that as a, you might use it while you're laying on the ground, keep you up off the damp ground, as a just a work area that you're sitting on to keep you dry. You're gonna fill that with leaves and gather leaves with it. This could be part of your bed where you fill it full of leaves and it's about that thick. And by 8 o'clock in the morning, it's only about that thick. So you'll learn how to make a cool, a warm bed with that, and it'll be very functional. If you have a trash bag with you, it almost fulfills the needs of survival, of shelter, gathering. You can also use it to collect water, all kinds of cool things with a trash bag. Okay, there's 2 of them on there. Okay, leather gloves. You really need to have a pair of leather gloves in every group. If everybody doesn't have one, these are for like when you're moving your tin cans around and you're working with knives. This will keep you, if you slip, this will keep you from getting cut, okay? Because we're gonna be whittling some figure 4 things and we're gonna be doing some knife work and working. So a pair of leather gloves will keep you from getting burnt and they'll keep you from cutting your hands. God forbid that happen, okay? Don't worry about the water. We're gonna show you how to do that. Don't worry about that. If you have something in the house, that's fine. But we will show you how that and let you taste it. And the Army uses this extensively. And it leaves a kind of a funky taste for me. I like our water filters. Yeah.
There's an expiration date on it, like, 'cause I had mine for my first one, like 4 years. So
Yeah, they're expired. Yeah, they're expired. And you're right, there is an expiration date. And you can open it up and look at it and go, ew, them look nasty. Fishing, that's your fishing kit, a few hooks, a couple lures. That's all you need, okay? You don't need to be extensive. If you put more than $1 or $2 in that, then you spent more money than you need to, okay? So just go out to your dad's fishing hook, your grandpa say, Grandpa, I need a couple little hooks. Don't bring back, a hook like that for the sea. That's not gonna do you much good, okay? The Survivor channels, they use a 60-pound line, test line, and it's like trout line. And you can get this for a couple bucks, and this is great for your lashing.
60 pounds?
And, huh?
60 pounds for $2.
Yeah, it's not very much money. And this is 50 pound. But they also learned on the survival channels that this was the most handy cord of any of it that they had because it was strong and they could fish with it and it was durable. So they could reuse it. So, if you don't have it and you don't want to buy it, don't worry about it. There will be enough of it around that you will be able to use whatever you have. Between this and a cotton strand, you'll have plenty. And that's just that. Here's another survival blanket. That's probably $1.99 Harbor Freight deal, and it's just as good as the other one that's in the little green box here, and that kind of thing. These are some waterproof matches. You guys have maybe done these in the years past. We're just a piece of cardboard. These are strike anywhere matches, and they're dipped in paraffin wax. Great fire starter. We've done these here before, and that's just another type of a fire starter. And they're dipped in wax. You strip the wax off, then you can strike it. They do get stale and they do get old. Okay, so you do need to keep that current. And last but not least, we have made these as well, and we may make some of these Friday night. These are a great fire starter, and all that is a piece of toilet paper, 3 matches, wrap them in there, dip them in wax with a little piece of that, and you make about 5 or 6 of those, and those are great fire starters. If you have a BioLite stove or that right there will just about
I just wanted a bunch of crayons
and make them. Yeah, any kind of wax is fine. And so that's a real quick overview of the material. We will have some pruners there. We will have some